Lovers of the association. This is your guy Marcellus Ease. We are in for a good one right here. The Lakers completely jumping out the window and grabbing up Luka. And it left a lot of us to wonder, how would the fit work alongside an aging LeBron James? And in this segment, we'll take a look at just that as JJ Redick begins to dig deep into his playbook as the Lakers somewhat begin their rebuilding phase. And it leaves many of us to wonder, which direction are they going to take? Building alongside LeBron James the next 1 to 2 years, if he can last at that, or whether this is going to be a long-term play to slowly construct the proper roster around Luka. But it was quite interesting in the first couple of matchups of how these two kind of performed alongside each other, even though at times things did look pretty redundant, sort of like the Spider-Man meme. But I'm not going to say no more. Let's just get to it.
$23 plus 77 is 100. Yeah, let's get it.
Alcohol, right?
So very early on, we get a nice little sample size of the possibilities of this whole Luka LeBron James era that's going to take place here in LA, possibly for the next 2 years. As Luka comes off the screen right here, Jackson Hayes into the handoff. And look at Jackson Hayes, an athletic big. And this is where the importance for the Lakers to have a center who's athletic like this, as Luka right here shows with his size and height, he could make these passes over the Jazz big man right here, Kessler. It's a failed alley attempt, but we see the possibilities of where this can go. Again, as the Lakers begin to work through the kinks, we see LeBron right here kind of set a little fake screen right here, but they don't have the chemistry right down packed yet. That's crazy. LeBron can still do this at age 40. Again, here's another play involving some off action between LeBron, Luka, and this time Austin Reeves. 3-man action right here, with Jackson Hayes handling the ball, dribble handoff, and look at all the attention that Luka gets right here. Jackson Hayes on the roll, once again showing the importance of just an athletic big. But Luka right here, all the attention that he draws kind of lines guys up for open shots. Rui kind of fumbled the ball right there, but he had an open shot for a split second. But Luka does not get enough credit for the open shots he does generate, because it's not going to come up on the stat sheet for assists. But once the Lakers begin to get a better roster construction around Luka, these things are going to become more apparent once we see the shooters begin to knock down these open shots. Here's another example of Luka generating open shots. Look at this pass right here. Woo. Lakers just got to get some knockdown shooters. I'll tell you what, Luka's passing catches guys by surprise. Check out Hachimura right here. Rui's not ready for this. Completely catches him off guard. Did not expect that. But the Lakers shooters, guys like Austin Reeves, they're going to have to be ready for these passes, because they will come out of nowhere. And we're seeing quite a few small sample sizes of it. Here's another example of it right here. Good Luka on this push off. Yeah, Rui got to be ready to knock these down. Here's another example right here. Luka gets his switch. Jackson Hayes gets Clarkson right off of Luka on this pin down. Now the Lakers have another player who could exploit bigs one-on-one out here. He can still get to his spots. Not only that, Luka creates passes out of nowhere. Rui got to be ready for these. And that's really an underrated thing. Just Luka being able to exploit bigs way out on the perimeter, just like LeBron. Or I should say outside of LeBron. Remember last year in the playoffs when Rudy Gobert got exposed in the Western Conference Finals? Now the Lakers could utilize that to their advantage. Here's Luka off this inbound. Gonna get the pin down and exploit Kessler right here. One-on-one with Kessler, just like Rudy Gobert last year in the Western Conference Finals. Got him. Got to be ready for those passes. Man, Luka just threads the needle out of nowhere. He gets guys open looks. I mean, this is going to be sexy to see how the Lakers kind of play this out in the upcoming years. Now, in the next upcoming months, things are going to get quite interesting to see how defenses even react. See, on one side of the court, you got all this attention on LeBron. And on the other side of the court, they're going to run a quick flare screen for Luka right here. You don't want him pulling up, shooting this shot, or even worse, him driving and just dragging that defender down into the post, because he can dominate from both sides. But this is going to be tricky for teams. So a lot of attention to detail. Defenses have to be off rip just real early in transition. Now the Jazz, just to combat just the level of attention on Luka and LeBron, they go to a zone defense. And this is where the Lakers' chemistry is going to have to be down packed with LeBron and Austin Reeves and others. As Luka right here tries to thread the needle, but unfortunately does not get there. And this is where the Lakers, is going to be very interesting to see what kind of big do they get on their team. A big who can handle the ball, make great decisions. Very similar to Derek Lively in the Dallas Mavericks. That's why that archetype of big works perfectly with Luka. Because in a situation like this, it would have been perfect if they had someone to handle the ball that can break that zone. Just occupy this space right here and just make a quick decision, either pass or just make a post move and score. But that's how the Lakers would break that situation with the zone defense. And the archetype of big that the Lakers need, you see it play out no better than this possession right here with Luka coming off this screen with a lot of attention on LeBron on the strong side, and just Jackson Hayes getting up. And again, we see why the Lakers have made other efforts during the trade deadline to get a big that sort of fits this archetype to put alongside Hayes for the time being. And of course, we all know Rome was not built in a day. And very early on into this whole Luka era in LA, especially in the early parts with LeBron James, there is going to be some clunkiness, as these two kind of have very similar styles. And we've seen it play out quite a few times in possessions like these. Very stagnant. This is why I sometimes say it's sort of like the Spider-Man meme. LeBron James and Luka are two superstars that are pretty much alpha, and they're not really used to doing the dirty work. The off-ball screens, the cleaning up, I would say scrappy plays, just getting involved in the mix of that. They've never really had to do that their whole career. Even Luka's first 5 seasons in the NBA, his numbers pretty much almost dwarfs LeBron's. That's how very similar these two guys are. And in this current role, one of them are going to have to sacrifice from play to play. Again, in possessions like this, there's barely any off-ball movement from the Lakers players and around the perimeter. LeBron and Luka are going to have to kind of figure this out. LeBron at his age, can he actually set screens, take a lot of punishment, and still average the 35 minutes plus per game? And also for Luka, could he get in better shape to actually have more off-ball movement while still having that high usage going from game to game? And will he have a willingness to do the dirty work? That's why I call these two the Spider-Man memes. They're both pointing at each other. They do the same exact thing. But it is what it is. For the Lakers, this is definitely a come up. And the first 2 years, we'll see what Rob Pelinka does if he wants to involve LeBron in perhaps a quick championship run, possibly with Luka by next season, as if they can make that work. Or if not, things are going to play out in the long term with Luka. Kind of build this out slow while they watch LeBron James settle into the sunset of retirement. We'll see how it plays out. Until next time, you fellas stay safe. Peace.